I got a request to do a video about the possible upcoming recession, and I'm not a financial expert or whatever. I'm just a blue collar guy that's done well in life. But what I can give you is I've been in this business a long time, whether you're in the tree industry, lawn industry, handyman, anything to do with your hands, basically. We'll just go back in time. We'll go back to 2007. 2007, 2008, we had the real estate crash, and then we had, the stock market. Everything reacted to that. So it was a big undertaking that, you know, some people make a lot of money during a recession, some people don't. But those of us that work with our hands, we're pretty much recession proof. And let me give you some pros. I don't want to be Mr. Downing negative and stuff like that, but I'll give you some pros and some ways to kind of protect yourself. All right, I'm not going to make this long and drawn out, but I'm going to try to bam it. All right, and some of you guys may not agree with me, and that's fine. But I've been through it. I'm old enough. I'll be 61 years old in a few weeks. All right. As you know, let's just put it this way. Say if you got something financed, you got equipment financed, or you need a new piece of equipment, interest rates, if you haven't been following, are going up. That means your payment's going to be more, and they'll require you to put a bigger down payment to bring your payment down. And let me stop here. There's some other guys with other sites that say, they never finance anything or whatever. I typically never don't. Big Sherman is financed, but I could write a check at any time. And they're not even getting the interest rate they really want, because that's another trick I do is I pay more on your payment, and it beats them basically out of their interest. Okay, that's another video in itself, but that's just the way I run. If money's free out there, I'll take free money. Like if you're selling me something at 0% interest, no problem. I'll pay it off real fast anyway, but if it's 0%, I'll leave my money in an account that's making me money and use their money for free, Anyway, somebody's going to throw a rock at me about this anyway, right? But anyway, another thing. So we know interest rates are going up. So if you're a guy that finances a piece of equipment, make more payments on it. As far as pay, if you pay, let's just hypothetically, payment's $500 a piece of equipment, pay $600 a month on that piece of equipment. Get it paid off. Okay, pay it off. Debt free is the way to go. I'll be quite honest with you. But if you have to finance something, pay extra on it. All right, be disciplined about it. Also, there are some loans out there, equipment loans, that I don't know if you guys understand, that they allow you to defer during the winter time. A lot of you guys don't work during the winter time with certain pieces of equipment. Some of you guys live in a northern region where it snows like crazy, and you look out the window wondering when it's a good day that you could, do trees, stumps, whatever. So there are companies that are flexible. Now, trust me, they're making money or whatever, because the months you're not making payments on stuff, they're still getting their interest. So that's why I like to, if you finance something, work an extra job, use the money from that extra job to knock it out, get rid of it. Build your empire that way, by buying stuff and then paying it off. Nothing about a recession. People, homeowners, will stop traveling. Idiots will travel, but that's not who your customer is, right? The homeowner will stop traveling and stay home. Their home, is their staycation. That's why swimming pools, during this pandemic, more pools were ordered. There's still people that don't even have a pool yet that have paid for a pool 2 years ago, waiting to get their pool. There's a waiting list so long around me to get a pool. Because everybody really, I'm not going to travel. I'm going to start making my home my little paradise. My vacation land is my home. And I'm that type of guy. I do the same thing. If we travel, I haven't really traveled very much the last 2 years, But I sent my wife, she just came back from a wonderful trip, and I'm glad she's happy. Me, I stayed here. Like I said, people will start investing in their home. They did that in 07, they did that in 08. The people that have money, that save money, they like to keep the home nice, and they'll reinvest in their home rather than going on a vacation. So you're in the end there. If you're a handyman, carpenter, or whatever, you're going to do well. Okay, people got to keep these things up. And Your customer base is not the 30-year-old and younger. Truly, your customer base for whatever you're in is going to be 40 years old and older. People that finally pull their head out of the rear end. Okay. Um, Another way to protect yourself is to start, just like, say if you're a stump grinder or a tree guy, you need to know guys in an entire network and network with them. And it's basically free. Okay. So what I'm saying by that, say you're a tree guy, you're already up doing trees. You see a house with a terrible roof or something, you're up and you see something wrong with a roof, you have a guy you can refer. Or they ask you, do you know a roofer? You say, yeah, I'm a roofer. Do you know a handyman? Yeah, I know a handyman. You know, the same goes back. The roofer say, hey, I got limbs rubbing on your tree. I can't put the new roof on until we remove there. My brother gets tons of referrals from roofers because, you know, the same thing. Do you know of anybody that can cut the limbs off? My brother's got a tree biz, you know, a side deal, and he'll refer it to another guy. He'll get a commish from it. You know, my brother's Mr. Commish. You know, he goes to property, and you know he's leaving. He sees this is the way he operates, and you know I do a little differently, but this is how he operates, and he's very, very successful at it. Walking out, the concrete in the driveway maybe, you know, needs a new driveway. He goes, hey, by the way, if you need a concrete guy, you know, give me a call and I'll refer you, or send him. I'll send him out here to give you a bid. You know, that's how my brother doesn't lose his little commish, because he said, I'll send him out here. So my brother immediately makes a call, calls the concrete guy goes out there. House needs a roof, he does the same thing. You know, needs a tree groom, my brother does the same thing. You know, he has an entire network of guys that feed him a little kick, you know. And if they don't feed him a kick, they feed him a stump, you know. Because, you know, lawn guys, landscape guys, you know, say, hey, you know, yeah, can you come by-ish and do this or whatever? We're putting a concrete in, and there's a root system under that broke up the driveway in the first place. He gets that job, you know. Now, thing is, add something to your stump grinding business. Say if you start, this is for the guy starting out. If you're a long time established, like I've been in business so long, whatever, you know, I'm passing this on to my son. So we're all basically a subcontracting based. Most all my business, I'm subbing for tree companies, you know. But when I was out there, I'll show you at the end of the video my rig that I used to have that I just sold maybe a year and a half ago, whatever. And it was a Zuzu dump and box. When I was out there, and I did the same thing, but I got all the commish, because when I was there, they look at my truck, it says hauling. And I said, yeah, I just do that a little bit on the side or whatever. So what it was is, I'm at your house. I get called from a tree company to do your stump. I'm doing the stump, and I'm looking around, and what was the number one thing that was laying around on the side of a house? I mean, think about it. Some of you guys that have been in a while, or mow lawns or whatever, what is the number one thing that's always laying against the house? Either it's stuff that was too big for the garbage man to pick up, or it's bicycles, you know, and the grass is growing, and it's like overcoming it, you know. I say, oh, excuse me, you got some old bikes over there. Would you like me to hold them away? And they said, well, yeah, you know, how much or whatever. If they were newer, nicer bikes, I was like, yeah, I'll just take them or whatever. And if they're really, like, you know, garbage or whatever, I say, hey, you know what, $5-10 to throw it in the back of the truck. Customers happy, they remember me, they kept their card. I used to have my cards on a magnet, refrigerator magnet. They throw it up on there, and they told neighbors and stuff. Now the bicycle thing, I got 5 or 6 bikes, nice bikes, and hanging in my garage. But the ratty ones or whatever, if they were, you know, if they don't need to clean it, I put it on Craigslist at that time, before there was Facebook Marketplace, and bam, you know, I'd sell for $25, something like that. Or, you know, if there are parts bikes, you know, I knew a kid years ago that had he used to fix bikes and sell them. And this kid was like, I don't know if he was 12 to 14 years old, but he had the mind of a car salesman. And I says, hey, I got something for you. I didn't even charge him. I got rid of it. I charged the customer. I didn't have to pay to dump it. I gave him to the kid, and he'd use the tire, the rim, or brake handles or whatever. And basically I was supplying him with parts. And the kid was so nice. And when I see someone trying to do their A game, I help you out, you know. Now, another thing too, if you're in this channel and you do cars, you fix cars and stuff, let me tell you something about the recession and how it affects that. All right. God, people are so crazy to where they make a car payment. And I've actually seen this. They make a car payment. And when a car needs 4 tires and they say, okay, it's going to be $500 for tires, $500. You know what they do? They go and trade the car in. That's what they used to do before doing maintenance and stuff like that. They would just drive it in for another one. Keep the payment rolling. Keep it rolling. You know, but with the recession, their car payments are going to be so. Car payments now are, I think the average is like $500-600 coming up now. And people won't be able to afford that. So, you know, if you repair cars or do repairs, it'll come back to that. You're sort of side Joe that repairs cars, brake jobs, stuff, the simple stuff. You know who makes money in this recession? The guys that sell used tires. It's amazing. You just go there one day and just, I don't know if if you're fixing it, buying a lawnmower, patching something, hang around and listen and watch what the customer base is. A lot of poor folks can't afford a freaking $50 tire. They buy the $35 tire, and I'm like, that ain't gonna last that long. But hey, there's an entire industry for that. So you gotta think outside the box when this stuff's coming up, all right? Don't let the gloom and doom of the news every night. Sometimes shut off the news and start thinking yourself, you know. And like, okay, another thing about cars, if you're a car guy, all right? It's like me. I love cars. So when I'm going to jobs or whatever, I look around. There's a car sitting in the driveway that's got like that much dust on it or leaves all over it. 4 flat tires. Excuse me about the car over there. Oh, that was, my grandma's, or that was whatever. It stopped running. I didn't have the money to repair it or whatever. So you like to sell it or whatever. Sometimes I say, hold on, I know someone knows. So that way it's not so pressurized. I know somebody, and can I give them your number? And I do. I'll give it to my brother. He'll call, and we go. Next thing you know, we got a car. And then you know what we do? We wash it, clean it, and fix it, and change the dead battery, which was the problem, and boop, it's gone. You just got to think outside the box on stuff, Or some people want, the car. They went to go trade it in, and they were going to give them, $1,500 for a car. They're like, I'll just keep it. And they kept it, and it just sat there, and sat there, and sat there. And then finally the wife's on to her husband, hey, can we get that piece of what out of here? And then, you look out, Or get a card from a guy. There's plenty of places that advertise. We buy, dead cars. So you go to those people and say, can I get some of your cards, or if I find you a car, can I get a finder's fee? Who cares what it is, $20, whatever. That's fuel money for you, all right? Or money for your IRA. So start thinking different ways outside the box. You go to a house and needs handyman work and stuff like that, you have a handyman guy that you give out their card. And that same handyman guy turns around and gets you work, Some, like the lawn guys. When you go to a gas station and you see the guy with the lawn trailer there, your card should be in his hand. You know why? He's been mowing around that stump forever. And he's like, man, I'm tired of mowing around or hitting it or having a weed eat around it. He'll push it onto your customer for you. And then do me a favor, give him a commission, or you tell him, I tell you what, let me come by, let me look at it, and I'll give you the price. I won't talk to the customer. I do that all the time. Like, I'll go there and say, yeah, it's so small, whatever. I got that done for $100, whatever. $100? I said, tell the customer 120, whatever you want. I need $100. I get my 100. Who knows what he got? I don't care if he got 500 out of that stump. I got what I needed. Okay? So with all that, I bored you for 14 minutes or whatever, but it's to say, don't panic, don't gloom and doom. Get your sizzle paid off. Get your money in order, okay? There's 2 other stump grinding guys on the videos on there. One is Superior, I think it's called, super guy. He shows his adventure in his day out there. Another guy is, I think, Chris, whatever. He fixes hydraulic lines too and all. Great thing. It's got great content and showing stuff. And I just want to say thank you very much. And I hope I'm helping you guys out a little. That's the whole purpose of this channel. It's not really to make any money or anything like that. It's to leave a legacy for my son. I talk to you as I talk to my son. All right? God bless you. See you on the next one.